Hey, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody had a really good weekend. Back here on the charts. And yeah, exactly. Look, Wapiu's view on the swing buy if it breaks. Oh, about the buy? I'm not sure about the buy. I want to get a sell over here. If we break these lows, we should be coming down. Man, this is a lot of volume here. You know, something is really moving the market here today. We're already down 0.94%. So, you know, I'm going to take a sell here. If we can break below this support. So something like this and get a bearish continuation. With that London open. Oh, it's good. Cracking. Good morning. Man, we haven't even created a support yet. This is just straight bleeding here in the 1 minute. Yeah, we're gonna look at the fundamentals in a bit. All right, chat. So I just got in a sell here. I'm expecting that price can continue to move down now. So yeah, I don't see a reason why to take a buy. You know, right now I think price is moving bearish. So I'm gonna stick with this bearish trend until maybe, you know, price creates some structure here. Maybe has a hard time to move down. And then I'm gonna look to reduce my risk if that happens. But for now, definitely expecting price to keep moving down. Yeah, we just hit 1% here on the daily. Come on, Goldie, dump it. The thing is, there may need to be some structure formed because it came down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 1 minute candles in a row. There might need to be some structure formed before any continuations. Yeah, let's look at the daily here. Daily, whoa, coming down to do a wick fill here on the daily. You see, with higher time frame volume, then these moves can play out and the lower time frames can just keep pushing. We just gotta get through. I see we're at that daily 8 SMA over here. Be nice for price to continue pushing through this level to take out these lows. Man, massive bearish candlestick. It's most likely heading for the wick here by 33.57. I believe that's what it is heading down towards. Oh, we got a 5 minute candlestick about to close. There's a 30-minute consolidation breakout. Got the new hourly here as well. New hourly's created already hourly highs. Or at least we could say at least the hourly candlestick has a top wick there. Are you currently in? I took a sell from you took a sell from 33.96. Oh, good for you. Yeah, I just took a sell here. You know, the thing is, I don't see any structure towards the upside. So why would you take a buy over here? You know, why would you take a buy? Price is already down 1%. Should still come down. Look at this. Should still come down. The only time I'm going to think about buys is if we start creating new higher highs. All right, chat. Stop loss to break even. Yeah, it's going to be a risk-free trade for me here. Just tapped around like, you know, 30 pips. 30 pips. So I'm going to try and hold here towards 3359.65. That's what I want to see. Yeah, doubly trade, guys. Congratulations if you caught that move. It's a nice little push there for you. Come on, dump it. What, 2 minutes for a 5-minute candle here to close? It says, I secured too early start of the week to be holding these. 1% down on the Monday as well. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good so far. I'm already taking a sell here this morning. I'm up above 2%. Well, for Monday over here. So, you know, if you secured something, also not bad. See what we got in the chat. Derek, what's up? Good morning. Sadala, good morning. What's up, Woods? Got Ricardo in here this morning. See iPhone, Luke. Welcome, welcome, guys. Ooh, kind of volatile. Nice, just getting warmed up. Good to hear. I think it should be a good week. You know, if Monday's already starting with this much volume in it, then I would be expecting for the rest of the week to be, you know, to be just the same. Hopefully it's gonna be the same. We're gonna do some higher time frame to lower time frame analysis though. But gold just keeps moving. Like you think price is gonna go up and then it keeps pushing down. It's like the same thing that happened, I think, on our buys that we took on. We took some buys, I think, what was that, Thursday? Like price will just keep moving up. It just kept moving up. Insane. Beautiful direction though. Quite happy with it. We're down like 1 point, how much are we down? 1.08. Oh, yep, security right here, boys. TP1 just got hit. Very nice. Very good. Little 38 pip banger. So very well done. And the good thing is you're still on the right side of the market. So if you have like a running position over there, then I think, you know, price can still run for you. It can still keep going downtown, down to Pound Town. I had investment I need to do last Thursday. Need so much money. I didn't want to mess with the savings account since it was 1 month from collection profits. Oh, from collection profits. Ended up taking out 5K from the forex account back to build out the account again. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's, you know, that's the whole idea, is that you want to withdraw those funds anyway from the account and then put it to good use in the real world. So, you know, very, very well done. Oh, lay. Nice way to start off the Monday over here, chat. Let's get it, boys. Let's get it. No hesitation. You see it, you take it. Man, there are so many there are really nice TFX concepts trades. I don't know if you guys were trading the pre-London time. I came in a bit late, but you know, make sure you go through that WAP database. You're gonna see the pretty nice accumulation breakouts there. Really, really nice one over here. Some really nice entry up here. It's really nice entry over there. But yeah, that's it, guys. Guess we can end the stream here. How long have we been streaming for? 12 minutes? All right. Let's see, 30 minute. What's 30 minute doing? We're kind of like at a rejection zone. Let's see the hourly. We have hourly support over here. Hey, but I've added the Telegram signals, but it's not executing. Go on Discord, and there's something over there on useful info. Go on the useful info channel over here. Yeah, make sure you click on useful info over here, and then you should get some kind of like help in there. Yeah, but it looks like we are at a support by 35. What's this? 33.58. We just hit a support by 33.58. Let's look at the 4 hour. Hey, Always, good morning. Cabello, good morning, Jay. Ellie, Frank, what's up, everybody? Wow, look. This hourly just completely knotted. This thing pushed down like 180 pips. It didn't... No, this is a 4 hour. Oh, the 4 hour pushed 180 pips. There was no top wick on this 4 hour candle still. Look at this. It's bold. We got a number 0 on this one. Nothing. But it is at a 4 hour support now. So, you know, I think it was a good idea to secure some profits here. Because now we have to see how the 4 hour candles are going to react off of the support. You know, and we have like 2 hours, 45 minutes for candlestick there to close to on the 4 hour time frame. But beautiful little head and shoulders pattern here as well. You got a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, volume come in. Daily has a lot of leg room here to keep moving down on the week. for the week. Might see some retracements, but you know, it's quite nice over here. We still at least filled up some of this range. On the left-hand side, towards like 3440. You can't find the useful info tab. Come on, man. You gotta get the Discord, what is it called? The Discord role. Go on WAP database and you should be able to get the Discord role. And that's gonna say TetraFX mentorship. And these are like secret channels. You know, then you're gonna be able to see the secret channels here. And it's all the way at the top. Yeah. So make sure you go on WAP and get that role. You need the role first if you're new on Discord. Then you're gonna see it. And it's gonna be at the top on the left-hand side. Yeah, I know. Discord, man. Discord can be kind of confusing, you know. Like I was gaming with my brother this morning. I mean, on the weekend, and he's like, what is this? What is this Discord? It's so confusing. How do I use this thing? You know, my brother's also not doing these things too often. So yeah, I get it. So just play around with it. But it's the only platform that we can use. It's the most efficient platform for this sort of thing. We can't use Slack, you know. Before I was thinking we could use Slack, but Slack is not as nice. It's not as nice as Discord. Hey Vic, how to indicate which wick to use if we want to use console breakout strategy, please? I assume that you'll use the wick where I put the sell position. Why don't we use the one that I give the line under there? I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by this. That's why it's really good if you could like label the chart properly. Like you can point an arrow onto it and then kind of like write something. You know, we got those rules over here. You can see chart rules. Just like this. Yeah, I think that would be nice. Oh, you finished the bootcamp? Nice. Yeah, have you gone through the simulations? Now it's just the simulations I think are really important. But you know, the bootcamp is pretty good to just get an overall idea on a price action and obviously how to execute on certain candlestick patterns. But it's like, it's laying the foundation, correct? It's laying some kind of foundation for now the experience to be built upon it. So now that's where the simulations come in. Oh, you got the MT5 simulator? I would rather spend my money on these things than keep talking trading losses. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's the thing. A lot of people, they're like penny pinchers. So whenever you're a penny pincher, you don't give yourself the opportunity to grow. You know, because you're always like, oh, you know, how much does this cost? How much does this cost? You know, that's always a question. It's always has to do with not the value that you're receiving, but it's always about like, how much does it cost? You know, I think if it can really help you and there's really no other options out there, then you know, you can really consider these some things. But penny pinching is the worst thing that you could do. Man, I spent at least $1,000 on courses. You know, and I knew I could download them for free. But the problem with free is psychologically, you know, you're not committed. When you get something for free, it's like you don't even enjoy it as much. You know, you're just going to get through it like very, very quickly. It's the same thing. Like if you buy a game for free, you're obviously going to get bored of the game. But if you spend like $100, $200 on a game, whatever, how much, you're going to definitely finish the game. You're going to finish the game. You're going to enjoy the game. But you see a lot of people, they don't know these things because they're like almost going through life in autopilot. So, you know, they don't realize that they have these bad habits. So that's the problem with free. Never commit. It's the same thing like having a demo account. You know, you got a demo account, it's fake money. Obviously, you're going to break your rules. Because, you know, why not? You got it for free. You're not losing anything. So you're just going to break your rules. But when you're trading a real account, man, you're not going to do that. Nice one, Ricardo. We got 3.22% on the day. Steady gains. Very nice. And these are like really awesome market conditions, you know, like when we're getting trending markets like this. So beautiful. So beautiful. Look at this. We had one sell off here. This was the Asia session. Asia session, little breakout situation, little breaky situation pre-London. And then we caught I believe that must have been the last move that we just caught, because you see, we're already coming towards the end of the day. Now you understand why I trade the pre-sessions, because this is my perspective on markets. You know, if you trade the New York session, then I guess you got your own perspective. But for me, I always think like, the earlier that you come into the market, the better chances you get to catch these moves. I mean, look at gold. It's already up, down 1%. You know, that's basically the day is done. The whole day candle, the whole daily is basically done, because, you know, gold can move like around 400, 500 pips. But you see, we already had the move. It's like 470 pips, and we just had the London Open, which is now the last sell-off, possibly now heading into like pre-NY, then the New York session, maybe a trends upwards. But this is not 100% rule, because sometimes it will be the New York session which makes the trend. You know, so you just gotta get really good at whatever time it is that you're trading, that you understand how the instrument moves during that time. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Thank you for the sub. So if you're used to the New York session trends, you know, very nice. You see, with time, all becomes easier. For the hardest part with the 1 minute console moves, because they are tricky. Oh, tricky to the eyes to catch. Yeah, that's true. And, you know, they happen so quickly. And also they're like, I would have already taken a sell, for example. I would have already been looking to take a sell here. If we had formed something, I would even look to get in earlier than just wait for it to break here. So yeah, it can be tricky. The 1 minute definitely is a time frame that you definitely need some kind of experience, some emotional control. You know, if you're too impulsive, then you can't trade the 1 minute too. You know, the candles just move too quickly. Like, you know, sometimes you get like false moves happen within like even a second. Like, you could have a buy here and then price moves up like this and quickly comes down. But if you're too impulsive, then you don't know how to leverage off such opportunities like that. So that's why I will say, if you find yourself getting faked out a lot, let's say on the 1 minute, the best advice I can give you is just wait like 10 seconds. Wait like 10 seconds, wait a few seconds, because then you get to see if that's really the move you want. Or just wait for the first 1 minute candlestick to close, as you get used to it. Or just focus on the trend. Focus on trending markets. Safer trades. So you see, like this trade here, this was a very safe trade. A very safe trade. Even though we're moving into support level, it's still a safer trade than a buy, because the buys have had zero confirmation for buys. So why would you take a buy? You know, it's the same thing that happened on Thursday last week. People were talking about selling gold, but why would you take a sell when price was moving up? You know, the sells eventually did come, but you'd have first taken drawdown. I think, was it Thursday? Yeah, I think it was on Thursday, right over here. Gold was currently up quite a bit, and he was breaking away from this area. And, you know, it just kept pushing up here. From this area, we took a buy, and price moved up, you know, like 90 pips. And then there was a nice little sell confirmation over here, and then, you know, price moved down. Then price moved down from here about like 223 pips. Let's see what happened. We consolidated. Okay, we played the range. Nice. Oh yeah, I took a sell over here, guys. I think I took a buy. After stream, I took a buy here, and it was a losing trade. Yeah, I took a gold buy, lost like 1%. You know, because I thought like price can already start moving. But I got faked out, and then price tried again, faked out twice, and then tried again. So it actually ended up moving that direction, but it did it in a very difficult way to catch. But, you know, it filled up the range over there. It filled the range. So I think that was good. Nice. Yeah, so filled up the range, hit the target over here. We kind of got close to resistance, profit taking. Also, I think this, let's see from the Fibonacci from here to here. Okay, yeah, so that was a 65% mark right here on this wick, and then it hit and came down, retraced. Then continue to move up for the rest of the day. Chopped up during the Asia a bit. Let's see, Friday, we didn't trade Friday. I was actually not on stream on Friday. So I haven't really looked at the charts since Thursday. I haven't looked at the charts since Thursday. But damn, Friday looks like kind of volatile here. What happened? We had some news come out at a 155. I think this candlestick pushed down like 200 pips. Let's see what happened Friday. Nice little swing entry model here. Corrected the range for London session. Okay, so, you know, Friday was a good day. Looks like Friday was nice. Came down towards support over here. Filling the range from this area down towards support. So it's like doing the same thing gold is doing right now. It just hit that 4-hour support. A flawless trader. Thank you, flawless victory. Thank you for the sub. Flawless victory. And there was also a nice little swing entry model here too. Beautiful. Right towards that resistance. Man, look at this. Profit taking. Once price started breaking here. A little inverted head and shoulders. SMA confluence. Man, very nice. And this was all with the New York session open over here that you had that volume come in. First time here. Are you trade future? No, I don't trade futures. I trade gold spot. But you know, like futures and gold spot, they kind of move the same anyway, so it's like the same chart. But yeah, this is really nice. Beautiful. Actually, Friday had quite a few opportunities there, it seems. Asia session, consolidation, break below. Nice. So, you know, the whole idea here is the whole idea here of this trade was basically just a breakout. We want to see price break from this area. You know, we accumulated orders and I was looking for a distribution towards the downside with the daily trend, which is down 1%. You know, it's that simple. And your stop loss above structure over here by these highs, expecting price to continue moving down. Are we together, chat? Write a 1 if we're together, chat. Do we understand why these sells here were taken? Write a 1 in the chat if we're together. White House to clarify misinformation on Gulf tariffs. Gold order to be posted in near future. Let's see. White House to clarify misinformation. Oh. Yeah, let's see. Let's see these fundamentals. Okay. Let's see these other fundamentals. Sovereign gold bonds due for premature redemption on August 11 delivered up to 20%. Man, you know, all I know is people are waiting to make so much money here on Bitcoin. Like, there's some people who are really scaling into Bitcoin and they're just waiting for those. Oh yeah, I was doing some analysis here for my friend over the weekend because he was trying to see how much percent that he can expect in the medium term. How much percent? So I was like, you know, if trading here, you can expect like maybe around like 10%. We're heading towards 130, and we're gonna get also the USD rate cuts coming in. So it's like, okay, cool. He's gonna be exactly traveling to Cuba then on Friday. I think. When is the FOMC coming out? It's on September 11th. So that's gonna be quite a nice surprise. Imagine being on a holiday and then just seeing your crypto portfolio skyrocket on the first day of vacation. But it could go the other way, you know, but there's a higher probability, you know, if it makes sense. The market needs to make sense. So it should go up. There's no need for it to come down. You know, it doesn't make sense if it comes down if you're getting rate cuts on the dollar. That would be very strange. But right now we have a FOMC on the 17th. Right, it's the 17th. 17th of September. Easing is at 88.4%, so pretty high probability. We may be getting that easing in September. So, you know, I think September is a time that a lot of people are going to be waiting for crypto to skyrocket. You know, so right now we are trading at 121 and looks like it's about to break the all-time highs here by 123, but holy chat, 150. I would love to see 150k. 150k definitely within the quarter. Let's see if we can see it. Realistically, we cannot see it within the quarter. It will have to be within the next quarter that we're gonna hit 150k. Yeah, for this quarter, I'm thinking maybe like 140. Maybe 140 is a bit more realistic. Let me compare this candlestick and this. Oh, maybe we can hit 150. Oh, this is a pretty big candle here. Yeah, we could possibly hit 150. Let's say that 140, 150 range. But in the medium term, we're looking at 130 on Bitcoin. So yeah, if you got some Bitcoins over there, I think it's looking pretty nice. This is not financial advice. It's just my outlook on the market. Explorers, good morning, good morning. I trade CFD before now. I don't anymore after starting FU. What is FU? Price might reverse at 135k, then we'll start to consolidate. Oh man, look, we're retesting the entries. Sniper exit on that one. We milked the market for all its pips in the first push. You know, we took everything, and then it's now moving up to see if it could potentially continue to move down again. Who's actually selling Bitcoin? Crazy people. I don't know why we would sell something when it's supposed to be going upwards. Xauusd. Welcome to the best London session stream. But yeah, I think Bitcoin should be going up. Bitcoin, there's a higher probability. You know, like whenever you think about trading, you got to think about in terms of probability and percentages. So whenever you take a trade, don't think you lost like $200, $500. Think about how much percent you've lost. You know, 1%, 0.5%. It's much better that way. And also in probabilities, when you take a trade, so you're not emotionally invested in the positions. So when you take a trade, it's taking based off like probabilities, which is differentiating you from a gambler. Because if you're not thinking in terms of probabilities, then you're thinking in terms of luck. And you know, you can't get lucky. Getting lucky all the time is so much more difficult than just putting in the work and being consistent. So you don't want to get lucky. It looks like gold is trying to break again here. Trying to break below support. Luck is for the weak. Only the weak get lucky. I want to see price skyrocket here once we break above 123,400. Create some new higher highs. It seems like a possibility for the week though. We're going to see some headlines. Bitcoin all-time highs this week. Bitcoin surge to 122k was just a matter of time. The price of Bitcoin shot above 122K on Monday, building on momentum from bullish executive order in Washington and 3 straight days of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund inflows to close out last week. In our view, it was just a matter of time before it would break up. In this time, we have seen positive ETF flows, more treasury companies buying Bitcoin, and a number of positive developments coming out of the White House. Bitcoin soared over 3.3% in the early hours of Monday. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Bitcoin right now is up 2.2%. Bitcoin has been stuck in a low volatility band between 115 and 120 despite all good news. While no clear catalyst appears to be behind Bitcoin's sudden 2-hour climb, US Trump executive order to allow cryptocurrency in 401k retirement plans was seen as a boost for the industry. Yeah, this is really nice for crypto. And gold is still distributing or trying to push through this area. Let's see, despite the rally, the crypto fear and greed index score is still in the greed zone at 70 out of 100. Oh. Indicated that social market sentiment isn't too overheated for now. Yeah, we're still in the greed zone. While Bitcoin's still trading below 120, when the score updated on Monday, it only marked a 1-point increase. So what does the green zone mean? It means that people are buying crypto. They're very greedy right now. They want to get as much crypto as they can. And I think it makes sense because, you know, once price starts to move, it's going to move from this area. So it just created like a little bit of a fake out situation. Broke below here, little V-shaped reversal to continue moving up to like 130. So yeah, I think it's a pretty nice zone. It's already on, it's off to the races here. It's already starting to move. So we want to see it continue moving up. BTC had an inverse head and shoulders pattern on the daily, so price might break the all-time highs. Who's calling me? I don't like picking up random numbers. Am I expecting something today? It's me. Hey, what's up, Kraken? How you doing? Yeah, we see we got a price here still bearish, so we haven't created a real structure towards the upside. It's just like we got resistance. We got resistance now being formed, but you know what you'd want to see is maybe something a little bit something more like this. Something more like this. You know, then you're going to see a little bit more structure being formed for retracement. But for now, definitely still looking overall bearish. It's still that daily trying to push. Man, just insane. Imagine just trying to buy and price keeps moving down and you're going to look at that and say always to yourself, this is what I always do. You know, every time I used to see something like this, I would be like, damn, if I just took a sell anywhere, like literally anywhere, screw the rules, I would have made a profitable trade. You know, that's a type of worse way to lose trades, I feel like, for most people. You know, that's when you really start to play the victim. So I think you shouldn't play a hero. You shouldn't want to be a hero in the markets. Yeah, we got a support over here, another support down over here. That range, we have a range about like 68 pips on the 30-minute time frame. If we can break below that level, we've got 1 hour clean range as well. The hourly time frame looks good. 4 hour will be like a wick fill. What's that? I was distracted. Gold falls on easing geopolitical tensions. Gold prices drop below 33.80 per ounce. All right, now let's try to make some sense of this move. You know, sometimes in the market, you don't have to know everything. If you see price moving down, it wouldn't help you really. I mean, it can help you to know why it's moving down. It gives you more confidence. But obviously, if price is moving down, then even if you don't know why it's moving down, you know, why would you still buy against it? But anyway, let's see. Here, Donald Trump announced last Friday he will meet with Russian. Oh, they were meant to meet, Trump and Putin, on August 15th in Alaska. So August 15th is this Friday. We're gonna have Freaky Friday to negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine. A move that could avert further U.S. sanctions on Moscow. Overall losses, however, may be limited by present trade concerns and growing expectations of Federal Reserve interest rate cuts later this year. Yeah, I think so as well. So these are going to be limited by the trade concerns and growing expectations for a rate cut. So in the meantime, it will create some kind of volume or direction towards a downside, because, you know, if this is going to be a cooling of geopolitical tensions, which gold does not like. So last Thursday, higher U.S. tariffs on imports in several countries took effect, leaving some trade partners scrambling to reach a better deal. So I believe this is the main cause of price retracements on gold. It's just going to be the easing geopolitical tensions, at least for the short term. Oh, actually, it could be medium term, but we just have to monitor the market and the tariffs as we go into the rate cuts. Market participants are also waiting on clarification from the White House over its tariff policy on gold bars after U.S. government agency last week declared they would be subject to duties. Nice. Let's see. Going up from there, I just couldn't hold after I didn't follow my rules. Hey, good morning, Evan. Good morning, good morning. Let's see, Discord. Closed all sniper entry. Yeah, this is very sniper entry. Very nice. Amazing trade. I think, you know, if I just look at this trade, it just makes sense to me why that price distributed like this. Yeah, I think it was a very uncomplicated W. So we're going to put like a W-I-N. I love uncomplicated trades. You know, like the more uncomplicated your trend is, the better. So the more it's clear like this, then you're gonna see like a lot of people are looking at the same thing. So it makes a higher chance that your trade plays out. So very, very beautiful distribution towards the downside. And then we also like to wrap up Friday. On Thursday, I took an L after stream, but then on Friday, you know, it took a really big bomber clot here. A really nice runner, but you can see like most of the time these trades are gonna run. Like even if we use a 16.5 pip stop loss on this, you know, it'll still be a pretty good idea. And price sort of still runs. So let me just change this to 16 pips. Say 16 pips. It's still a pretty good push. Sometimes I use like 16 pips. Sometimes I use structure. But yeah, I think overall, the important thing is that price is just moving. So hopefully this week we can catch a few more of these. Man, it's just been insane. It's honestly been insane. I don't know what's up with the market, but as you can see, these sell-offs here have just been pushing so aggressively of late. Like, I'm gonna take a sell, just a complete nut. Take a sell, complete nut. Going up from there, I just couldn't hold. Oh yeah, it was a buy. Man, you gotta tattoo hold on your forehead or somewhere. You know, Ricardo, just put like a sticky note on your monitor that says hold the damn trade! Exclamation marks, all capitals. Hold the damn trade. Or hodl. And then you're gonna go here, and then you're gonna change your wallpaper. You're gonna change your wallpaper to that scene on Game of Thrones. Hodl. Why can't I see that scene? Hodl meme. Yeah, you gotta hold. You see, these are your emotions. These are gonna be your emotions which are telling you, secure the trade, Ricardo, secure the trade. Those demons. You know, like we all have our own demons in trading. Some people are too greedy, some people are too fearful. You know, some people can't hold trades. So these are your demons. You know, so you gotta fight your demons. You gotta hold them behind that door. Don't let them out that door. Because, you know, the moment you let them out the door, then you're gonna play the victim. So, you know, so I think that's something that you can work on. And it's pretty good because it gives you a challenge, you know. It gives you something like to get 1% better if you have something to work towards, such as holding. You don't always have to hold, but you can give yourself a chance every now and then. Why not? You know, what's the worst that can happen? You're gonna get out of break even. Not such a bad thing, getting out of break even. But the important thing is just pre-plan the hold. You know, it's like, are you gonna hold a 1 to 3, 1 to 4? What are you gonna do if you get a 1 to 3? Because you know 1 to 3 is gonna be profit. You know what you're gonna see out of 1 to 3 in terms of P&L. So you gotta already prepare your mind. You know, like before you're doing a workout, you gotta prepare your body. You gotta prepare your body and you gotta warm up. You also gotta warm up your mind as you're preparing to hold. You're like, okay, so I'm in the sell right now. Let's say, for example, and I'm thinking about securing here at like 20 pips. So as price is progressing, and let's say you change your mind and you want to hold longer, sometimes what I do is now I prepare myself for seeing more profit, potentially coming back to break even. You know, and then you have to really disconnect yourself from the outcome. You know, and I think the best way to do that is stop loss to break even. Usually. So even right here, you see how close price was, already retracing so close to profits, but I can still hold a bit longer because you disconnect by putting stop loss to break even and accepting the outcome. So you're just going to give you a chance to hold trades a bit longer. Market won't forgive mistake. It invoices it. Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. That is a good one. This morning I tried 2 times, even taking partials, both went to BE. Then I just missed it. Oh man, especially on days like this, you know, especially on days like this. I wish I was doing a funded challenge. If I was doing a funded challenge, this would have been a day I'd already passed my phase 1. Easy. Easy peasy. And these are the best days. These are the days that you want to be trading. You know, if you got like a challenge or something that you're trying to really achieve that requires the most optimal market environment, definitely today is one of those days. And it pays, you know, it pays to wait for these type of days when you're trying to achieve something challenging. It does pay, you know. Maybe a day like this you might even get like 2 or 3 times in a week, or you know, maybe 2 times in a week, but it's worth waiting because you know when you execute, you're definitely on the right side of the market. Hey Samuel, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Ellie, one and done. Illy. See, 1533. Jeez, Goldie. Goldie, man. Still going down here. Still going down. Now it's looking to fill this range on the 30-minute. Man, insane. Insane. Look at this. 65 pip range over here to fill. Going to try again from 3354.18. 3354.18. Okay. Wait, just a complete nut. Bleed, Goldie, bleed. Well, what are we looking at? Let's give gold a target for the day. Let's say about 3350. Yeah, I think 3350 is the target for the day. We have that 30-minute range to fill. 3350 will give the whole daily candlestick. Oh, but that's 540 pips. You know, the thing about gold, it can be quite unexpected. Like, we could even see prices completely melt. Because this candlestick here had pushed up 800 pips. And, you know, if gold continues to move down with the same energy, then we could even go as far down as 3320. But definitely a short-term target for gold sells is down by the support level over here. 3350. How many lot size I take in 5K two-step challenge? If you're asking that question, then it's not, the problem is not the lot size, what lot size to use. It's you're gonna fail because you've gone into this not prepared. You know, so I think you gotta go and seek some proper education. Because, you know, you would not do a challenge and then ask questions during the challenge. Usually the challenge is like, okay, I've back tested, I've simulated, I've forward tested, you know, I've done all of these things. Now I know that I'm gonna be consistent and that I can get my result. Then you do it. You know, then you do it with confidence. But if, you know, if you're just trying it out, obviously it's gonna be a lot of psychological problems are gonna start to come in. You might pass the initial phases, but they're gonna come in later. You know, they're gonna come in later, but I get it. I get the idea. The idea is just to get a payout. I understand that. That's what I've gathered from people who do challenges, very well knowing that they're not profitable. The idea is to just pass it or even get one for free just so they can get a chance at a casino where they can maybe get a payout. You know, maybe they can get $1,000 payout, $3,000 payout. I guess that's the idea. But, you know, like, trading is a long-term game. So you know, money finishes very fast. It finishes very fast. Like, even if you get lucky that one time, how do you expect to do it for even the next quarter? You know, and what are you going to do? Like, if you got it for free one time, what are you going to do the next time? Are you going to pay for it? And how many of those are you willing to pay? So, you know, in the end, it's like you're going to end up spending more. What's your average win rate? I think like 70, 80%. But I think I focus more on no, it's, yeah, like 70, 80%, somewhere around there. Low liquidity and volatility, hard to read charts these days. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I think price has been moving though, on gold at least, because I've been mainly trading gold. So I guess it depends on what you trade. You know, for me, for the most part, gold has been moving crazy. Like the moves that when I catch a move, it just keeps running. And you know, like, the good thing is that London session here has started moving again. So remember, we were consolidating for quite some time during the London. Now it's starting to move again, which is really nice to see. It's been a while, but it started coming back in like sometime. Volume started coming in like sometime last week. So you got to think of the market like the ocean, you know. You got to ask the local surfers over there, you know, how's conditions been? They're going to tell you like waves have been coming in. You know, we've been getting some good swell since last week. So it's literally the same thing. I find it hard when we get to points like this, as I even have a sell setups. All I can think is the overall move is down for the day. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Even when we took this sell over here, people already think like price is overbought, and then now look, price just kept moving down. But yeah, we're definitely getting towards the tail end. You know, it's a thing about understanding the time that you're trading, because I know with the London session, at least we can expect like one more move, you know, from the London Open. And if it just keeps moving down, you know, awesome. Maybe it moves down. But I think for me, the next time I would be coming in is something like the pre-New York time. Because you see, again, it's helping me read structure a bit better. You understand? Because that same feeling you're feeling now, I don't have to deal with it. Because I've already given my shot at a time I think volume can push. And then now you guys just got to wait for the markets to set up again. And then pre-NY should give you again direction. But yeah, I understand. Like if you just came in now after missing this, then it does feel not so safe. Especially because now you've already had one situation where price has retested here and it's already broke the lows one time. So you got to look back at this and you're going to say, damn, you know, why I should have taken this one. And now the market gives you one here at the bottom, which does not help the case anymore. So I think every time you're on the charts, you're very intentional why you're coming. You're coming to execute, you know, so you don't put yourself. The worst thing is to put yourself in a situation like that. That's what you want to avoid. Those second guessing like, oh yeah, that would have looked good. Damn, I should have done that. That's the number one thing you want to avoid in trading, because it puts you in a very sticky area now. Johnny D, thank you for subbing. So, you know, that's why you got to show up. Show up when you're meant to show up and execute. You know, if you see it, take it. If you don't see it, don't take it. Simple. I've been watching your streams for some time and I want to learn your model. So what do you advise me? I advise you to go through my videos on my channel and then join the mentorship. That's what I advise you. Because there's a lot more content in the mentorship that's going to help you. That's not yet on YouTube. So that is TFX concepts. That's what you're learning. You're not learning ICT. You're not learning something where you can learn somewhere else. You know, these are TFX concepts. Maybe the concepts or the ideas obviously are going to look similar to other models, because obviously markets only move 3 directions. But it's a different outlook. The outlook is different. Of course, someone can take a sell and you can take the same sell, but you'd have different reasons as to why take that sell. Just passed my phase 1. Should I wait for now? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I would break it up in. I would wait for now. I would wait for now because, you know, you already had one good trade. So just wait for the next day where you have similar condition like this. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, maybe it happens after tomorrow. You just got to keep waiting. You know, you just have to pass. Once you pass, you feel a lot more comfortable, you know. Because you want to hold your trades. During those initial phases, you're just holding your trades. What pairs do you think to be tradable next to gold? I think GJ is a nice pair, but I haven't been trading GJ too much of late as well. We got to do some GJ analysis here. But, you know, I always think like if you have one instrument and that instrument is paying you, why do you need to trade another one? And I'm also focusing on the 5-minute and 1-minute time frame with higher time frame confluence. Correct? So you don't need to trade anything else. That's the way I look at it. And gold moves like perfectly. Beautiful volume. You know, GJ is sometimes uncertain. Like whenever you get a breakout, for example, you see like how when we take this sell over here, notice how we had basically no drawdown. And the 1-minute candlesticks were, you know, they were just trying to push downwards. Basically something on GJ I think would definitely give a bit more structure there. So it would come down like this and then create something of the sort. And it takes longer and it's choppier, so I don't like other currencies. Gold is my favorite. So I think just pick one currency, get good at that currency, and then just trade it. If you're a scalper. If you're a swing trader and you focus on the 4-hour time frames, and yeah, maybe that's something else. GU not better than GJ? I think GU has more volume. I just think I'm more used to GJ price action because, you know, when I started trading, everybody was trading GJ. So if everyone was trading GJ, I didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so I focused on GJ as well. And you know, I got very used to trading GJ. And GJ actually used to be very nice to me. Like you see, sometimes I'd have streaks of GJ. Look at this. This is made about 7% on the streak. This was about 7 trades. You know, that was all GJ trades. Because I think at the time, maybe gold was not giving me any positions. So GJ was paying. But now I've gotten too comfortable that I don't even trade GJ anymore. I've gotten way too comfortable with gold that I've divorced GJ, unfortunately. But yeah, if you look at my data over here, you can see gold and GJ perform quite nice. From like 2024, you know, you got 2023. Yeah, so those are my favorite pairs. Really nice consolidation 1 minute, but the wick up is so big to break. Maybe just 5-minute wick fill to come down again. Yeah, I'm not even taking any of these buys seriously until we start really creating some kind of structure. And you see, since Asia, just dump, consolidate, dump. Maybe consolidate again one more time and then it dumps. No. I've settled on only gold. I've understood it better. Oh, nice. And it's less stressful because you got one chart to focus on and you don't have to focus on other charts. So it's a much more enjoyable. Yeah, I'm done. I remember I got tired of all this complicated strategies, like having different, you know, some people trade like this. They have like different time frames. They're looking at some indicators to show them how that time frames look. And this for me was like getting way too tiring. Way too tired looking at all these charts. Oh, I need to upgrade to use 4 charts. Damn, even 3? And what used to happen to me a lot was I would have like 2 charts like this, and then I would always mess my trades up. Like I would always pick the wrong one or I would rush one. So there was a lot more variables when you do something like this. There's a lot more variables that you're playing with. It's like going from 2K to 4K. You know, when you go from a 2K to a 4K resolution, what happens is your computer has to work so much harder to create all those more additional pixels that it slows down the computer. You know, so it's like going from 2K smooth gameplay to something that, you know, you can still play, but there's a lot more choppiness maybe. I mean, you can always increase the capacity, you know, the more you trade like that, the more capacity you build, get some upgrades on your GPU. But yeah, but that's, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Because right now, you can just quickly look at the hourly time frame and say, okay, you know, hourly's bearish. Hourly's created the top wick. Then just have these levels at the back of your head. So you got like a hourly support over here from here to here. So you're going to have these levels just at the back of your head. What I used to do was a big mistake was drawing all those levels out, because once you draw all those levels out on your chart, it creates obviously analysis paralysis. So just keep your chart all clean. Most of the time when I execute my trades, I don't have any analysis on the chart because I already know what the candlesticks are doing. You know, it takes time for these moves because 90% of the time price is consolidating. Then you have a small distribution. and then consolidation, then a small distribution, you know. So if you're waiting most of the time, then you don't really need to do too much analysis. It's just sitting on your hands, waiting for the distribution, especially when you know there has not yet been a distribution. So if you look at price action from here, for example, yeah, price is currently moving sideways, correct? It's moving sideways. Yes, we're in a bearish trend, but right now, this moment is more unique. It's moving sideways. So it has not yet had its distribution. But we're going to get that happening here. Maybe if, you know, price breaks below 33.56, so maybe breaks above like 33.63. Then you're going to have either a buy probability of a trade or a sell probability of a trade. Chart is looking very bearish today. Wouldn't be taking any counter trend trades today. The way this thing is dumping, yeah, just wait a bit longer. Just wait a little bit longer. Done with the daily objective. Got my last trade on German 40, $15. Got to $105, trying $100 a day. Are you going to try trade from pre-New York opening? Maybe something really stands out. You can look at the pre-New York. But right now, what I'm actually anticipating is, right now it's 4. So we got pre-NY here at 6. Yeah, there could be a few good moves actually until this time. But definitely gold is cooking something. It's cooking something here. It's flirting with the idea of that range to fill on the 30-minute on the left-hand side. That's what it's thinking about. Yeah, it's thinking about that move. Damn. Hey, Yorkshires. Good morning. Finest trader Josh. Oh man, Wood's got some competition here. Finest trader Josh. Maybe some buys would actually end up playing out now since we bottomed down, and it's also a timing thing. If you look at the time, you know, it's majority of the moves already played out to the downside. Coming in now, we're about an hour into the New York session. I mean the London session. An hour, 10 minutes. Beautiful little inverted head and shoulders, which is forming there too. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. That could be the fake out. If price can start creating some more structure, then that would be the fake out, a little liquidity to move upwards. But still bearish. This will be like the inception, you know, if you look at the charts, there hasn't been like, you could have caught a few moves, like really smaller moves, little scalps here and there. Like this push over here, that was about a 20 pip push. This is like smaller moves, but we haven't really had a strong bullish move towards the upside yet. So this would be rather the inception. If that was to play out like a little bit longer, that would be the inception right over here. Because, you know, like these things are much easier to see in hindsight after they happen, but you also have to get good at spotting these potential zones before price moves in those directions. So I think this is going to be a very nice probability zone that you're going to expect either that or beautiful continuation below 33.56 towards the downside. Yeah, very nice clean range. Very nice clean range. Beautiful little accumulation here as well. Could be an earlier entry too. Break by 33.58. I think like scalping definitely gives you more time freedom than like swing trading. It's crazy, chat. Like honestly, we're already done trading here 12 minutes into stream. Or into the London Open. This morning, I think I was on the chart for 30 minutes maybe. Or just about 40 minutes. 30, maybe 30 minutes. The problem with trading is if you take 1 or 2 trades a day and you finish so quickly like that, then what's going to happen as a new trader? You're obviously going to want to keep trading because you feel like you're not putting in the work. You feel like you need to be trading, but that's actually what you need to do. You need to give yourself a break, you know, because it's like if you don't give yourself a break, you're not going to give yourself a chance to grow the account. It's like if you're going to the gym, you know, if you're working out every day, you're not giving a chance for your muscles to rebuild themselves so they can grow, you know. So you got to also give your account some time so that the account can grow. So definitely the more you do is not a good thing. I think everything in dosage is good. German 40 is also dumping hard. Got some levels set up, but probably won't take it. And more emotional damage if you're a new trader. Yes. Yeah, I think this will be very interesting to see where price goes now. Hey, Illust. What's up? What's up? Did TradingView change the color scheme? Why does this color here look a little different to me? Oh, brightness. So what is this? See what's new. Dun, 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 dun. Wow. Man, 1 minute candle just completely dropped here in such a short time. That's like a 30 pip 1 minute candle. Wait, what? This move here was like 38.7 pips. And this candle just dropped here like 30 pips. Holy. Did you guys see that? That dropped, I think that dropped like in just before the candlestick closed. Like towards the candlestick closing. Yeah, something's really dumping gold. You know, it's not uncommon for us to see gold down negative negative 1.50%, 1.2%. You know, right now we're down 1.11%. So there's a lot more headroom here for price to keep moving down. It hasn't really bottomed out. You know, like when you take a RSI indicator or when you take the EYES indicator, sometimes for you it looks like it's bottoming out. But if you look at the technicals, price has a lot more leg room to continue moving down. It could still very well push and correct this range. That little 53 pip range over there. Hey, good morning, Sandile. Yeah, it's lagged. And GJ here is on the daily down 0.10%. And we got a small little V-shaped reversal here, a little accumulation. You got support, you got resistance. And I think GJ is trying to break above 200 psychological mark here. So you got 200. And it's accumulating to distribute. It's kind of funny because I think we did have the rate cuts come in, but it's still not moving price down. Somewhat still holding over here. It's a pretty important zone. If you zoom out a little bit more, you're gonna see 200 where it's sitting at. This is a monthly time frame. So you see, if we can break above 200, I think GJ is gonna start trending on the HTF a bit more, distributing a bit towards the upside there. This could be the start of a bull run on pound. Basically, because it's breaking accumulation, doing a small little break and retest of that zone to continue moving up towards resistance, and then to keep moving past that resistance. Moving past that resistance area over there. Yeah, that looks nice. That really looks good on GJ. It's gonna take some time for it to play out though. Can this be pricing in of gold for September rate cuts? Yeah, I think this is because of the easing that's happening with the meeting between Trump and Putin on Friday. That's why gold is retracing like this. So it's kind of like for the week, I guess we might even see a bearish gold for that reason. But you know, there's nothing which is confirmed yet. It's just a meeting, which is quite interesting. It's like, you know, speculating. It's speculating that something is going to come to an agreement that the war is going to slow down between Russia and Ukraine. So for the week up ahead, that's kind of like the outlook that we have on gold. It's a more bearish PA, but it's like short term. Could you break down your strategy in simple terms? I think you just got to show up to the stream a bit more. You know, like give yourself a quarter, you know, show up to the charts, and then you're going to start to see how I look at markets. And I think I look at markets in a very simplified way. You know, I think given the experience you personally have in the market, then you're going to be able to learn a bit faster. But yeah, there's nothing too complicated about what I do. I think the simpler that you can keep something, the better it is. So you just must tune into the streams a bit more, because a simple breakdown is not going to help you. Because if I say, let's say I trade accumulation breakouts or breakout strategy. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go on YouTube and you're going to look for breakout strategies, and you are going to find them. But they wouldn't be TFX concepts. Because, you know, like everyone can take a trade. You can just say, oh, okay, then I trade a simple breakout strategy. Yeah, you could simplify it like that. But it's only when you start to actually replicate it, then you're going to start to understand that you're missing things. You're missing a few things. This is a heavy waiting zone over here. This is about to really move. Gonna have a really nice move come out of this soon. Gonna get a bumper clot.
Bomber clot.
How will gold react on CPI? We got a, let's see, Tuesday we have, core CPI tomorrow. We're expecting numbers to be coming out good. We've had a crazy bearish streak on CPI though. Numbers have been coming out bad of late, so bearish for the dollar. But this time we're expecting good numbers. But you know, the difference is not that much, from 0.2 to 0.3%. So it's kind of more like neutral. You know, like anything can happen. You know, 0.2, 0.3, you can come on neutral or even below 0.2. Wednesday, we got nothing. Thursday, core PPI, unemployment claims. Friday, core retail sales and consumer sentiment. Nice. Core TFX. Is this not on the calendar? But you know, also this this meeting is not yet on the calendar. So this is going to be when you get Trump's schedule here. So we got Monday. So every day we're gonna get Trump's schedule, and I think then on Friday is going to show like an orange or actually a red folder. I'll be expecting this to be a red folder on Friday for Freaky Friday, and it should say President Trump speaking, or it should say something of the sort. Oh wait, it's a meeting, so he's not gonna be speaking. Oh, okay, so I think it's actually just gonna be a meeting, so it's just gonna be happening behind the scenes, but it's not gonna be showing you that on Forex Factory. So you know, that's something that you have to keep in mind when you're trading on Friday, because that might not be shown to you on Forex Factory. So those are the macro fundamentals. Same reason as to why price is moving down on gold. You know, like if you're relying on Forex Factory, then obviously you don't get anything here. See, like today we got no news. Yeah, if you put on like a filter over here and you go on the yellow folders, maybe you're gonna get something. But really, there's just no news here today. So it's a clean day. Price is moving down with volume. Macros are at play. Very nice. Oh, you see now the breakout's happening. Starting to have a potential for gold to have some more retracements in. So if this plays out, it's going to be what I'll be expecting to be a much bigger sort of correction, which we have not yet really seen since the Asia session time. So you're going to see a little bit more of a distribution come in. That's going to be the inception of maybe one of the first buys. GJ buys. Yeah, I think GJ has some nice range as well. Got some really nice room over there. That's like 23 pips, 23.8. Not bad. GJ buys. Daily candlestick is down 0.09%. So that basically just means there's not so much direction in this market yet. Unlike gold, which has already been moving, GJ is still kind of like, you know, anything can happen here. Daily could still flip and we could head up, or we could just continue moving down. Hey, Francis Clem, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Ikti, hi bro, good luck. Thank you, thank you. Oh, what is this? You got a magnet here. EQ low MOBX. I was just thinking, like, imagine the ancient pyramids. If you're digging up ancient pyramids and they had chart work. You see someone's chart work. A couple of lines on there, head and shoulders pattern. That would be wild. Yeah, this the markets didn't exist back then, so yeah, kind of sucks. Yeah, but nice. What are you expecting to happen here? I think you gotta send in a labeled chart. Oh, you gotta buy? 0.01 just to buy coffee? I think now gold will move up, inverted head and shoulders on the 5-minute. Yeah, sorry about that. Pushed up here about how many pips? You said you took a buy, pushed up about 22 pips. Are we back? Yeah, I think the connection should be back. Make sure you drink more water, chat. Got a matrix attack on the stream. Was it risk-free trade? So close to 33.66. Looks like it's gonna hit though. Okay, so this one is much clearer to enter sell at this wick, but why not using this wick? Oh, okay. Cause look, if you're expecting price to keep moving down, if you got like a very good probability that the trade is gonna move down, then you could take this wick. You know, because you're looking at this and you're saying to yourself, like, oh, there's a massive resistance over here. We've retested this resistance multiple times. You got a head and shoulders in here, confluence, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You know, your SMAs are looking good as well. You're getting that SMA crossover. So you're always thinking like just a probability. You know, this potential right shoulder here as well. So stop loss above where you just put it, and then for price to continue moving down. So I think it's like situational, you know. So in a situation like this, it's a very nice trade that you want to get in that position. Yeah, it's just the same thing. Just the same thing. When you see there's a higher chance of something happening over the other, you could just opt to get in. And also you're reading volume. You're reading how price is coming towards those levels. You know, sometimes you get like a fake out confluence too. Like for example, right here, it's different when you're, you know, it's different when you do it like this as opposed to when you're actually trading. So when you're trading, you're seeing like a potential fake out happening right here. You're seeing like mini resistance levels, potential liquidity grab, you know, false closure above resistance. And all this to you is just looking pretty juicy for the sells to play out, especially if that's going to be your bias as well. If you think price is going to be moving down. So once you see certain things like that happen, you're like, okay, yeah, I think this is going to be when the move is really starting over here. And then you see 1 minute just opened, strong volume came in. It's coming in with volume. After the fake out above here. So those are pretty good trades. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. My sound was off. Thanks for reminding me, Alex. Now we see who's paying attention. I see just curious from Friday, but all my questions have been answered. Thank you so much, Vic. Welcome, Derek. It's a beautiful accumulation break here. I think there's even a sooner one that played out. There was one above here which pushed like, 22 pips. There's one right here which pushed like about 29 pips. Nice little SMA confluence in there too. Candlesticks are still being held up. It's broken into, the thing about markets is like fractal. So right now it's even within a much bigger accumulation here. It's really waiting to break above those highs. I think that's where Ricardo wants to secure some profit here by 3366.60. But if it breaks those highs, I'd also be expecting price to gradually start to come up a bit more. And then distribute from this whole zone. Yeah, look at this. Mad consolidation. That also looks pretty nice. Break of the lows here. Lots of opportunities. And the good thing is there's no shark in the water. I have not yet seen a shark in the water today. The price is just behaving like it should. Look at GJ. Low volume on GJ. Man, GJ is... It takes so long for GJ to go anywhere. It's still trying to creep up here a little bit more. Potentially heading towards 198,561 area here by that 65% mark. A Xauusd. WIN. Caught this pre-London banger. Let's go on live news. Do we get any live news? No, it doesn't look like we got any alerts. Because you'll see it with if you come on the Discord and you go on live news, you'll see it with a sort of siren over here. There'll be a siren over there. If you get some flash news. Yeah, it doesn't look like we had anything. I'm sure a lot of people are confused as to why prices in gold is moving down today. Why it's moving down because of what we're expecting, the meeting on Friday between Putin and Trump. Right, crazy. We are 8 months into this year so far. In August. September, October, November, December. Yeah, I'm gonna need to take a holiday soon, chat. I've been grinding way too hard. I'm trying to balance it out by not pushing too much, but I might need to lock out for a bit. I'm gonna need to lock out for a bit, but not in August though. Maybe in like October, November, maybe November. I think November would be nice. At least November is like towards the end of the year, and I don't have to feel so bad. But yeah, we've been locked in. We've been super locked in, chat. Like we've taken like how many trades this year? You know, just last month alone, I took like what 51 trades. It's a lot of trading over here. There's a 51 trades last month. Then August, I've already taken like 14 trades. See, June was 34 trades. May was 29 trades. I think on average 30 trades. We could say 30 trades. Yeah, but we must keep going. Oh, nice little distribution from this area. Just briefly spoke about it. Didn't go too much into detail, but I think the people taking sells here, they're pretty justified for why they're taking a sell there, you know? Kind of makes sense. It's like the same thing that happened up over here. So if you notice, like price was consolidating, you got like a support, you got resistance. You see that little sell-off right here at the top of the resistance. You see, this is why I don't like teaching beginners sometimes, because with a beginner, it takes too long. You know, but if you're already like locked into the concepts, TFX concepts, these should be free flowing. You know, when I simply break it down like this, it should already be somewhat clicking, because we can't spend too much time getting always into the details. There's so many opportunities. But you know, it's at the top of the range, so you got like some kind of confirmation here for a sell. And it's a similar thing which is happening down over here too. It's also at the top of the range, you know, with some kind of confirmation over here for a sell. You know, these are the lows, that's a fake out, and that's the top of the range. Just don't enjoy your vacation too much or you wouldn't want to come back. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna become a farmer, like Pablo. Remember when Pablo just started farming at some point? I think this was in the series. At some point, he was like enjoying his almost like, I think that was like, was it more towards the end or something, where he just like starting to farm more and just enjoying not needing to do anything. You know, no responsibilities, no nothing. Oh, I can't find those scenes though. I think it's pretty nice. Oh man, this is really retesting. Okay, so you got a retest of entries. This is where people get in. So the reason it's retesting is because that's where people get in. It's the same thing as here, you know? Like look at those little spikes from this area where price distributed. It's retesting because that's where people get in. Get in, get in, get in, get in. It's like a you can't see the players, but if you can read technical analysis, then it's like being in a lobby, you know? You know, when you're playing Call of Duty, you can see, or Battlefield, you can see the players' gamer tags and you can see them in the game. But you know, in trading, it's like you just gotta read the price action. But you can see where the players are currently sitting at. But you gotta have some kind of entry model, you know? Because it depends on how you trade and how you look at markets. But you see, it's the same thing here. You see how it always gets retested? It's like getting retested. Retested here. That's the one we spoke about. So sometimes it gets retested. It retests before having the bigger pushes. You know? Ready Player One, all-in-one graph and lobby? Yes. Yeah, would be awesome if we could actually see like some kind of like a board over there. It's a hardcore lobby. You know, that's a problem with trading, is you don't have it easy. There's no easy instrument. There's no like easy setting. It's like you all get put in the difficult settings. You all play in the same settings. Some days are easier though. Maybe you're gonna get easier days and some days not easy. But today has actually been an easy day. It's been a pretty straightforward day. So I would say difficulty level on today has been like on easy for sure. There's not even medium because there's no sharks in the water. There's not a lot of liquidity grabs. You know, you just gotta stay on the right side and execute. You know, keep taking those sells. You can get away with a few buys, but obviously you don't want to be greedy with the buys because there's still a higher chance that the sells play out a lot nicer than any sort of buys. Because, you know, buys have not yet proven to you that they want to keep buying. But the sells have done more than that. And they're still proving to you that it's selling off. So it's been a pretty good day today. The reason I asked the console break concepts in this market situation, console break has more profitable than swing setup. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, the thing is, like, there's no even swing entry that I could have taken here. So I needed, like, console break. But yeah, console breaks would have more profitability because they will definitely, you know, the idea behind a console break is price is supposed to start moving, correct? Like it doesn't matter if you have like resistance on the left hand side or support. The idea is that it's like a rubber band. It's accumulated so many orders that once you start getting your confirmations, it's supposed to like move, you know, because this is like a time capsule. An accumulation is like a time capsule. You know, it keeps in some candlesticks inside it for some time, and then it needs to distribute. And then it's going to do the same thing again. Time capsule, build those orders up, and then distribute. Some people, they like to, I've noticed sometimes people like to measure the range. So they'll do something like this, for example, and say, oh, you know, the consolidation here was like about 96 pips. And then they would expect the distribution to be the same amount, like 96 pips. It's not a really good way to measure like this, but some people do that. They measure the consolidation to see how big the breakout can be. But it doesn't matter, you know, even you could have such a small accumulation such as this, still drive for you such a big distribution. You know, but I guess, you know, the bigger the accumulation, the better as well. Like, I think people like to see that too, because if it's a much bigger time capsule, look at how much time has been spent here. You're expecting the distribution to be really big as well. You know, so you can also like make an argument for that too. The bigger the distribution, the bigger the break type of thing, which is true to some extent. But I have seen really nice moves happen from even smaller areas, really tiny accumulations. Pablo Escobar is real. Which scene in series? Was it Narcos? It was in that series, Narcos. Ah, that's where this man was as well. Pedro Pascal. He was like a cop, if I'm not mistaken. The internet daddy. Dun, dun, dun. I've been here over a year, over 1 year. Amazing how time just goes so fast. Yes, man, it's crazy. Like, time goes so fast. Weeks go by so quick. You know, like, it's insane to think how much I've been doing this. Like, if you put it on like a time lapse of all the trades that we've been taking and just speed that up, it's actually kind of crazy to think about it. So like a lot of work that goes into it. Showing up every day, right at the same time, executing, taking the same positions over and over and over and over again. But I think that's the nice thing about trading, at least like, once you learn the skill, it's something that you don't really have too much adaptation in this. Like, maybe some businesses can have really big adaptations, very huge changes in environment, but in trading, it's never that serious. You just have to find your groove, you know. But if you're not willing to put the work in, what happens? You get stuck at hitting break-evens a lot. Break-even, loss, break-even, maybe small wins, break-even, because you kind of like losing the groove. You know what I mean? It's like you're too comfortable. You don't want to adapt to the market. That's the only thing that kind of kills your progress as a trader. Because, you know, the moment like you start journaling your trades and you notice some kind of bleeding, you should always like address it. You know, if it's like a lot of break-evens, maybe a lot of losses, you should always just stop and address it, because somebody is making money, you know, in these market conditions. So you want to see like, how could you have taken a profitable trade? Or how could you have ended the week profitable? Rather, you do like a backtest and see how you could end the week profitable. What could you have done differently for the time that you were trading in the market? So if it's from here to here, so, you know, you got to backtest these days and see, okay, what has been happening this week? You know, because this could repeat next week and it could repeat for next month. Yeah, so I think that's really important. So if you notice, also my London sessions here have been improving quite nicely. But, you know, every session is a hit and miss. Some sessions, sometimes I lose pre-London, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose pre-New York, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose London, sometimes I win. So it's always like a hit and miss, but you really want to be addressing the where majority of the bleeding is going to be within those sessions. And sometimes the best thing is just to not trade. You know, sometimes you can't find a cure for it. So the last thing that's going to be on your list is just to avoid that time. Masak, thank you for the sub. Nice, getting a lot of subs today. Don't I have a software FX discount, bro? No. Can you even get a discount on this thing? Maybe you can split it with somebody. You can split with somebody or you can manually do it. You know, because I think on the free demo, you can take like 5 trades. You can take like 5 trades and then you have to reset it. So I guess a workaround would be just to manually write something down. Or just invest $100. You know, like if you have this dream of becoming a trader, and you don't even want to invest a measly $100. You know, what kind of world are you living in? You know, it's like saying you want to start a business, and when it's time to invest in your business, you don't even want to spend $100 in your business, but you want to become an entrepreneur. You know, like what kind of world is this? Man, you see, just don't be a penny pincher. If $100 is holding you back, just give up now. This is not for you. Entrepreneurship, business, it's not your thing. You must find a salary and go work a job. Because you can't be a penny pincher. Penny pinchers don't exist in these realms. You know, this is a realm where people are cutthroat in this realm. You know, you gotta be a shark to survive in this realm. So don't be a penny pincher. The best thing you can do for yourself, if you're gonna take a loss, at least you would have gotten some sort of experience from that. You know, you would have spent your money and you could have gotten some kind of experience from that. Because the truth is, not everybody wins all the time. People do take losses in business as well, you know. But the important thing is they're actually taking the risk because they're getting better from those losses. But if you don't do them, then you never learn and you never grow. This is looking like maybe some kind of continuation soon. On soft 4 FX, they now allow to use MT5 now. Really? Oh, that's sick. Wait, let me see. Soft 4 FX. You got MT4. I'm not seeing MT5. It was on pricing. Oh, yeah, we got MT4 and MT5 version included. Nice. Let's see, does it work on PC? Forex Simulator requires Microsoft Windows. The only way to use it is on Mac. Remember that you can test if it works for you using a simulator on demo. Oh, this is kind of what helped. I remember now. This is what helped me back from simulating when I first started trading, because I was trading off a Mac and I couldn't download these softwares because most of them required like Windows. And what happened was I used what is it called? Parallel on Mac to simulate Windows, and that completely destroyed my Mac. Like one day I was doing Parallel and my Mac wouldn't turn on. Like the battery or something just completely died. And I had to take it to the Apple shop, and you know, they had to replace things. Man, that was crazy. So ever since then, I never looked at this. But yeah, this actually helps quite a lot. I just would not recommend doing that on a Mac, to simulate a Windows on a Mac. Bad idea. It's going to cost you money. Hey boss, please don't stop doing what you do. Do you plan on keeping this community on for a long time, please? Yes. Yeah, we're gonna have this community for a long time. Appreciate it. See, Wall Street bets. How long will the market pump? Hey guys, how long do you think the US markets continues to pump? My thoughts are that this week's inflation data will be okay, and with the peace talks, markets may continue to pump. But I think September, October, there will be a correction coming over the next month, about 30% due to high inflation data and recession. As soon as tariffs show effects, I'll be long till the end of August till set tight stop losses. Oh, nice. Seems like a pretty good analysis here this guy did. This is on Reddit. Can you live stream on Reddit? That would be actually quite sick. Let's see what's happening in terms of currency strength meter here. We have a kind of like a neutral dollar, and what else? We got a strong yen, strong pound, neutral dollar. So neutral dollar, okay, you know, the correlation sometimes don't work. As you can see, it's a neutral dollar, but gold is down heavily today. It's already down -1%. I'll send you my end of the week trades. Awesome, man. Yeah, make sure you send them in, and then we're going to look at them. Even you can send your daily trades here. You can send your daily trades into the analysis group, and we can look at them. Because you know, it's really nice when the trade is fresh. When you got the trade and you just take it and journal it, and we can see it here in the market, then we can also look at it quickly like this. If you take one, but stick to, you know, 2 to 3 trades a day. Henry, thanks for the sub. Okay, you missed some trades. You're trying to take the best possible entry. All right, fair enough. But don't stress too much on the entry, getting it like super perfect. Just focus on the risk, you know, making sure at least your risks are in check. Because you know what's going to happen is whenever you're looking for the best possible entries, it's kind of hard to get them. You know, I've realized it's very difficult to get the best possible entry because it's also a bit different on your broker. It's always going to look a bit differently on your broker as well. But the most important thing is a confirmation. Just get the confirmation and then see how your risk is going to look. But if you're on best possible entry, you know, that's fine. Just be okay with, or maybe just don't do it so perfect. You know, don't do it so perfect. So for example, what happens to Ricardo is maybe he has like a really perfect analysis like this, and most of the time the market will come like super close to where he wants to get in for a sell, and then it would reverse. So, you know, if you notice something like this happening, then you have to stop being perfect. This is going to happen to a lot of traders when they're trying to get like this very clean analysis. Usually they miss by a few pips. So you can always adjust for like some kind of error over there. I think it's usually the best thing because it helps your psychology that at least you're stuck in. It's actually the same thing that happens with profit taking as well sometimes. You know, like if you really want to take a profit here, and it doesn't make it. It doesn't make it and then reverses. That's the thing. That's a balance that a lot of people, you know, they're gonna find how to take their trades. Because for me, what I like to do is whenever I take a trade, I will look at 16 pips. You know, if I can see 16 pips hit here on my trading view, not even necessarily on my broker, but at least on my trading view, if I see we're spiking through 16 pips, there's usually certain areas that I'm expecting reversals in the market. So I will just execute from that. Even if I have slippage, let's say I want to execute here and I got triggered in here. Usually I just try and at least secure something here. Or let's say if it's like not exactly what I want to see monetary gains wise and I get executed here. What is like, I'll just put it a break even, you know, I'll just put it a break even and just kind of like hope that the market keeps pushing past my analysis. But you know, whenever we take these trades, we usually get that happen quite a bit anyway. So I think that's good to see. It makes you feel a little comfortable that you can just hold the trade a bit longer, you know. Oh, добрый день, брат. Привет, привет. Yeah, Goldie looks like it wants to have some side of it's starting to bottom out a bit here. Now we've spent quite a lot of time within this area. We're not having the same trend like we were having earlier on. Man, earlier on, price was just moving down. Now it's just kind of moving sideways. Let's see. Do you implement the H1 impulse entry with this strategy? H1 impulse entry or daily H4 wicks? I'm not sure. Oh, H1? The way I use the H1 is, okay, so you see here we just took a sell and this was with the London open. So whenever there's a new hourly candlestick that's about to open, I'm usually thinking, okay, this candle is going to have a move inside of it. You know, so I use that as a confluence for volume. That's the only way I use it. So yeah, I guess you could also look at this as a kind of like an impulsive sell based off that H1 open. But that's all that I use it for. It's just like an indication to say how the trade is going to look now. You know, preferably the hourly creates a top wick before the break, because if I get stuck in the first initial minutes when the hourly opens and it doesn't create a top wick, then I feel like if I have drawdown, most likely it's going to come up and create the top wick. So it's a very nice thing to kind of like, you know, gauge the market. Like, how's your trade going to look? That's why I love the H1 for. Like this morning, I took a H1 trade as well. Yeah, I see how the H1 broke the low. I've tested this many times. Yeah, it's like really good if it lines up with the entry model. The entry model that you're looking for. Yeah, the H1 candles, man, because you know the whole idea behind the way I trade is just to catch a H1 candle. That's all I gotta do. So, you know, we joined into stream here for London Open and we caught the H1 candle. This was the one. So every candle, I'm thinking like, how could I have caught this move? You know, this candle over here, how could you have caught this move? We're about to get the new H1 candle open up here in the next 10 seconds. And now you're gonna think to yourself, how are you gonna catch the next candle? You know, look at this. New H1 candle is open. This candle here is going to have some opportunities. You guys see it. Maybe it's even breaking right now. But it's going to have some opportunities in this candlestick to catch a move. So it's still pretty fresh. So that's all you got to do is like see how can you catch one of these candles. Have you any open trades? No. Oh yeah, this was my reaction to this guy's sniper trade. So remember we said this guy said best trade of the whole year, perfect entry, perfect exit. Really nice trade. Took a buy over here. Okay, let me see. You guys can see it. Took a buy right here and exited all the way up over here. Really, really nice. Really nice entry this was. This is on the 1 minute time frame as well. So I was like, okay, pretty good. Pretty good trade. then we got our trade here on Thursday, which you know is a sniper entry, but I know it's not a sniper exit, but the entry was a sniper. The entry was a sniper entry. Pretty good entry. As far as my trades go, you know, it's pretty nice entry because I can't get a John Wick. You know, I can't get these entries where you guys get the wicks because I don't trade like that. When you get the wick, you're kind of trading against where price is going, so you get like the highest point. Correct? Like for me, I need to wait for structure to first build and then break the lows. So it's never really like a wick entry. It can't be a wick entry, but it can still be a zero drawdown trade if it just goes through the level. I think we just got a small little push over here on the hourly. Surprisingly enough, this hourly did not create a top wick, so it pushed down like 20 pips. Oi, oi. Hey, what's up, Mr. Woods? So ding. So ding, Mr. Woods. So ding means lock in Chinese. So ding. Yeah, what's the price gonna do here? I think it's gonna have a bigger move towards, what time is it? 5. So in the next hourly open, that's gonna be pre-New York. Pre-New York. Remember, you still have this range here on the left-hand side. On the 30-minute, still pretty nice 65 pip range over here. Got 65 pip range below a 33.57. So it could still be looking to clean that area up. We're gonna mop that area up from this accumulation here, and then you're gonna have a good day. If you haven't yet had a good day, then I think you're gonna have a good day then. Once price breaks below this area over here. Am I gonna take a third trade for the day? Maybe. But yeah, maybe. Gold is a melt today. Just straight up gold sells. So remember, chat, if you're looking for runners, look for market direction. Did it take out? No, it still respected our entry highs over here. Yeah, this thing wants to dump, chat. This thing wants to break below that support and melt. Come on, dump it. Yeah, I've been with the little lemmings. Now I'm soothing. Well, initial sell is still playing out beautifully from these highs though. All the way up over here. Kind of got one zone here. Very nice. Very nice. Literally not seeing any shock in the water. Since the pre-session time. It's crazy. Where's the sharks? Where are the sharkies? I think that the shark is like the chat today. You know, it's still taking it slow because, you know, it's a Monday over here. So everybody is just taking it a bit easy. Maybe he's gonna come in. Maybe he's gonna come in during the New York time. And the shark's gonna come in there. Man, I wish every day was like this. I wish there was no sharks. I like the market on this easy setting. Yeah, weekend fatigue is strong. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even know weekend fatigue would be a thing on the internet. I feel like there's some kind of weekend fatigue going on here. Yeah, because yeah, like you watch these other streamers who have like 10,000 viewers, 50,000 viewers, the chat's always moving, you know, it's always moving. So like there's a weekend, does fatigue even exist? But you know, we got a pretty nice community here. But why with fatigue, chat? What happened last week? Something happened. What happened last week, guys? Wait, was someone ruining it? Were you ruining it on Friday? On Freaky Friday, you ruined it? Don't ruin it, chat. Stop ruining it. And there's a lot of swings here that happened. Oh, look at this, man. Some little spikes here during the New York session. This candlestick spiked down like 100 pips. Holy. Yeah, this thing here created some fatigue for some people, I think. This candle here pushed down like 100 pips in 1 minute. That's insane. I don't even know. There was no fundamentals even for Friday, so that's quite interesting. Why would price push down like that? Must have been some kind of macro event. But the London session looks calm for the most part. It was pretty calm. Beautiful little sell-off over here. Oh man, beautiful little crossover to break of structure and then completely nutted. Very nice. We got like a 100 pip dump over here on the 1 minute candle. And New York was kind of violent for the most part. Or let's say even like close to market end. Got a few swings here. Loads of consolidation though. You can see for the most part, if you really zoom out, the market is just not doing anything. It's just consolidating. It's moving sideways. But within those sideways, you can always catch something, you know. Most parts just consolidating. Massive consolidation here as well. Getting ready for the next move. Goldie is definitely gearing up for the next one. What is the market percentage you would say the market is trending daily perspective wise? It's down 1.16% right now. How did I find that zone that I marked? Oh, this zone, I looked at the 30-minute time frame because, you know, we have a 30-minute support here and another 30-minute support down there. So we just need to get through this level so price can, you know, have a wick fill off the 4-hour. But on the 30-minute, then we have some clean range over here. I think even on like on the 15-minute, that should look pretty good. So you got like 15-minute support and you got another 15-minute support here. So that's how I've been marking it out. And that's why I think you see how we're already trading below that zone. I was gonna zoom in for you. You see this? Candlestick right below it. So that's what I think is gonna happen. Is that we're gonna keep pushing down and then filling this range. And it's gonna distribute from this whole general region. That's what I would be expecting. Weekend fatigue. Da, 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 da. It's a Monday fun day. Dum, dum, dum. Who wants to see gold dump? Write a 1 in the chat if you want to see gold dump. Write a 2 if you still think it's a buy.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Get on down there, Goldie. My weekend is Wednesday, but I go hard on the charts for my 1 day off. Because I got goals to crush. Nice. I got 1-2 in here. It's like, how low can you go? It's down 1.20% right now. One, we need Ukraine war to stop and go to dump Friday. I hope gold does all its dumping here today. Missed a clean entry, got scared to lose what I made today. Oh, you're sitting on your hands? Nice. You know, you gotta reduce your risk. So if you're already up for the day, just reduce your risk on your next trade. That way you kind of like keep what you made from the previous session. It's supposed to distribute now, chat. Like, there's definitely... The wheels of probability are spinning now. Of course, there were some other entries early on, but there are in terms of looking from a much bigger scale, this is the area that I kind of want to see price push away from. Because, you know, we've already been sitting here since 3. Right now it's 5, like around 2 hours. You know, we've been sitting inside of this zone. So it's kind of like price has an opportunity right now to move and create a new range below here. So it'd be beautiful to see a little spike down below. Yeah, I think it's like this hourly doesn't even have a top wick, you know? It's just completely open and still nothing here with no top wick. It's pushed down now about, you know, like 70 pips. Yeah, just look at it bleed. Holy! It's down like 26 pips now. Trying to fill this range here on the 30. It's already filled. Let's see how much of that range is filled up. Need to move this from here. Alright, so still got some ways to go down towards like 33.53 at least. Still got a lot more room for it to push. Man, crazy. Crazy. The people who just keep buying over here and then price just keeps moving down. Let's look at this from a daily perspective. So daily's perspective, we're breaking below that SMA. Coming down, we got some wicks. We've taken out the previous support levels. Okay, we're trading below the SMA over there. We're heading towards the 50 SMA. It seems here on the daily as well. Could be like a target over there. That could be like a magnet for price. Nice. Gold's bleeding like a smack in the nose. Bleed, Goldie, bleed. I hit, you know, some UFC fighters have very sensitive noses. So whenever they get hit very like early on in the fight, they stop bleeding. And it looks so gruesome. It looks like they're taking a beating, but some people just have a sensitive reaction to getting punched in the face. Some people like really bleed a lot in the UFC. It looks so gruesome. Will it tap 33.30? Yeah, I think 33.50 at least. At least I'm thinking if price can come down towards like 33.51. 33.51 area here by the support. Because you see, you got to look and see like on the left hand side, where is the clean traffic heading down towards, you know, and that's going to be the next support region here. And so far it's pushed from this area. This was a wick. It's pushed from that wick about 35 pips, but the range was worth, you know, 67 pips. Samuel, thanks for the sub, man. 4% last week. This is a great start for me to August. Oh, nice. Yeah, amazing. Ending a week profitable is something that, you know, a lot more people can do. You know, some people, you're going to have a higher percent of people earning or getting a winning trade, having a day being profitable. But if you extend that to the week, majority of people would maybe even have a profitable Monday up until Friday and then ruin it. You know, on Friday is when the overtrade. The overtrade because, you know, maybe they haven't seen what they wanted to see from the week and then they make it even worse for themselves. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So all you got to do is like focus on surviving these days. You know, just break it down like this. So if Monday was a losing day, you still have a whole week ahead of you. You could have a W Tuesday, W Wednesday, maybe losing Thursday, and then Friday you just kind of want to sit on your hands. I love to sit on my hands on a Friday for the most part. You know, so Freaky Friday. But at the same time, if you see an option on a Friday, usually what you can expect on Friday, the weekly candlestick pullbacks. So weekly candlestick pullbacks can really give you some great opportunities. So that's why I think, you know, I was taking this sell over here on Friday, and I was thinking, you know, for Freaky Friday, we haven't yet had a Freaky Friday move. So if you do end up taking a position, you can always expect like some sort of like volume to be coming in. Especially if you notice that the market hadn't had a move yet. Because for me, I was like, wow, you know, we haven't really had a move yet. Market's been consolidating. Now it's at some sort of resistance. And then just completely nuts. That's what you expect from Freaky Friday. It's like you're just thinking to yourself, when is that weekly candlestick going to have those reactions in line with your trades? It's like, you know, there's these layered ways of looking at volume. Correct? We've already spoken about the hourly candlesticks. Like how when you anticipate the hourly candle is about to open, then you can expect like some kind of volume. It's also the same way but on a weekly scale. So yeah, I think in trading, it's very multi-layered like this. You know, the different dimensions towards trading. It's kind of harder to teach something like that, but it's much easier if you have some experience and know what I'm saying. Yo, what do you suggest at 33.52? Oh, I don't know. That's the bottom of the range. I would suggest nothing. All I want to see is for price to come down there. Because, you know, the thing is like, if it comes back into the range, it's just going to maybe consolidate a bit longer. Because, you know, we don't want to see price stuck in this area. Basically, we'd rather see it start moving from here to keep pushing down. If it comes back, then it's going to consolidate again. Sheesh. What the heck's up with Goldie? Look at the way it's rushing all the way back in there. Holy. What do you guys think? Do you think that hourly can still reflip? Got about 37 minutes. 37 minutes here for this candlestick to close. Look at that. Still doesn't have the top wick. Yeah, no top wick over there. Y'all think it reflips, comes back into that range? Maybe consolidates a bit longer towards like pre-NY. Because pre-NY is in about 40 minutes. Would have been nice to see the follow through though now. Down towards support. They did try to push. It looks like it's heading for the top wick. Oh yeah, that's another volume signal. So we've covered the hourly opens, we've covered the weekly closes, and we also have like candlesticks not having top and bottom wicks. Then you see how that volume also reacts. So if you're in a trade and it doesn't have a top wick, usually you can also expect something of the sort. Like a strong pullback. Let's say if you're in a buy, in a situation like you took a buy here. So I think Ricardo had taken a buy here, for example. You know, and then you see price ripping up like that. Then you can make sense of why it's ripping up like that. Because it's probably rushing to create a top wick. Because most candlesticks have top and bottom wicks. So you got a pretty high probability. You know, whether it's 70% or 80%. Pretty strong chance that we're going to come back and create that top wick. So nice little confluence there. Another thing of volume is candlestick closing. So if it's about to close a certain level, sometimes you also get or anticipate pushes. But I don't typically look at those ones so much. They're not as strong as maybe as a candlestick not having a top wick. See what I mean? Like, look at that volume coming from that. This candlestick's pushed up like 66 pips. Gold trying to apply a med kit, trying to stop the bleeding. Yes. Did it create a top wick though? Came really close. But there's still time. Yeah, just trying to apply a medkit. Thanks for the 100 likes, guys. Appreciate it. Let's have a good week. Let's have a good week this week. Take it to the limit. That was the main confluence for the buy after the big push down into FEG plus OB. Oh, RSI stuff. But I still 80% trading, full lot size on price action. Nice. Yeah, maybe a trade like this, you could use the smallest of risk, but try and get the highest of returns from. Just saw Maserati La Vente in all white. Doesn't look too shabby, you know? Yeah, I'm trying to pull up this thing here. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. Sporty. And I love watching these videos on YouTube of like Monaco. Man, Monaco is just... Oh, what happened? My freaking computer here is frozen. Why is it frozen? Monaco has the craziest of cause. You can't even flex in Monaco. Flexing does not exist. Unless you buy something really special. Jeez, what a distribution upwards. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bullish candles in a row on the 1 minute. It's a complete skyrocket. But it's like a V-shaped reversal. So catching something like this is a little bit more difficult. That was been driven by the hourly candlestick not having a top wick. So it's like a V-shaped reversal, hourly candlestick pulling up. See, now it's just created the lows over there. Now it looks like a liquidity grab below here. Low sweep of the lows, and now it's pulling back, create the top wick there. Oh, that actually looks brutal now. All right, so for GJ, basically what's happened on GJ is since the London Open here, price has just been moving up to fill this range. That clean traffic that we saw from here to here, you know, about like 30 pips. GJ has filled the range. You see, you're going to see some profit taking now. So profit taking, maybe price is going to retrace a bit more towards the downside. That's been GJ in a nutshell. I would say for gold, we just had some really nice sells opportunities like earlier on. Loads of selling opportunities, actually. This is just a massive one right over here. It's just a much bigger sell opportunity. So, you know, that's why for me, sometimes I even like these smaller ones inside of the ranges. Like, you know, smaller ones inside the ranges. Because the bigger ones, you know, like they work pretty well as well if you're getting them, I guess, earlier on, if you can get a tighter stop loss here. Because, I mean, it still did push, like, from the break here about, you know, 25 pips, 25 pips. So it's still pretty decent. But if you can get the bigger ones much earlier on, I think with the timing of the bigger ones, it's really important. Like, either it's a big pre-London or a big pre-NY. Because we're not yet in pre-NY. There's a nice spot in my city where the fancy hotels are, where you can spot some beauties. Nothing like Monaco though. Oh, cool. My profits are stagnant. They are not moving. Yes, they're not meant to move when they're closed. It's not meant to move. See, it's already closed. And I don't have anything open. So this is nothing here. I'm not trading. Just took about two trades today. GJ is at 0% now. Daily time frames are doji. Still nothing. GJ has not yet had its moves today. It's had some kind of moves that you could have taken, but daily candlestick is quite indecisive. Holy 80 pips. Holy 80 pips. Man, and look at that entry. Oro. But you see, if you're seeing this happening quite a bit, just hold one. You can send in some charts as well. You know, we can look at some chart work, some video analysis here. We can... Let's see what crypto is doing. Finally, BTC is about to break all-time high. Yes, sir. That's what we're going to get this week. That's what I'm anticipating for crypto. All-time highs. Monday done, chat. Mop top Monday. Up. Let's see. Like 3%. 3, not bad. See how the rest of the week here is gonna go. Because if this daily candlestick closes bearish, yeah, I think there's a pretty good probability that next candles keep moving down. And I think it is gonna close bearish. There's a higher chance this thing closes bearish. So tomorrow, if you notice during the pre-session that we're down like 0. Maybe 40%, then you know we're probably gonna have some kind of bearish momentum set in on the day. And then maybe we can take some more sells. Because for price to keep pushing down, I don't know like how much further it's gonna go down from this point. It's down already like 500 pips. Maybe it comes down to 33.30. Maybe. But it's already moved so much. Just maybe. Dun, 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 dun. Beautiful range though. This whole range is about 120 pips. Really nice for scalping on the 1 minute. See the 5 minute? 5 minute, not a lot of options on the 5 minute to be fair, guys. You know, we got like resistance up here. You know, you got a support area. We can actually remove that zone and we can remark the zone. So this is becoming your new analysis area here. You got resistance, 33.65. You got support by 33.55. And you can see that the market's just moving sideways, correct? Like it's gearing up for a move. It's like basically setting up for pre-NY open right now. It seems. Possible correction for the last NFP maybe? Possible. Yeah, possible correction, true. If you're looking from the push here, this was that NFP Friday. The candlestick did 800 pips in total. Possible correction. Because we've been looking at that area since a 4-hour time frame. You can see since the 4-hour time frame, we didn't quite really. I think we went way too back. We didn't quite mitigate that area over there. So you're right. Actually, that's a very good perspective, you know. If we're looking from that perspective, then that means we're at the 4-hour lows. Here we created a support. And this is the range that we're looking to fill for this week. As price progresses, we need to see some candlesticks break below like some support over here. And then continue to correct previous NFPs move upwards. Very nice. Yeah, I think that's a very clean way of looking at it. You can also see market is overall moving sideways here. So it's a majority of the time market is just moving sideways. So, you know, 90% plus we're just moving sideways. So we're waiting to really see that distribution start to kick in below that support. I guess that would be the goal. And it's much easier for price to move down than it is for it to move upwards because we already create so much resistance up here. Now, I guess it does make sense. You know, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy if we can get below that support. That's why I'm still bearish and still will be bearish till further notice. I closed earlier. How do I do with that? Just hold, man. Just hold. Why is that something so hard? You know, just look. Okay, so you need a mechanical plan then. If you're having a hard time to just hold, then you need a kind of mechanical plan or something you want to see to determine if you're going to hold. That could either be the daily trending very heavily like we are today. Obviously going to have a higher chance of getting a runner. Or let's say you got some nice little clean ranges, like, you know, clean candlestick bodies on your left hand side. So for example, let's say over here, yeah. If we take this for as an example, and let's say you took a sell somewhere around here at the break of that accumulation, expecting price to come down, you know, stop loss, whatever it is, expecting price to fill this area, then you're looking on the left hand side and you're saying to yourself, like, I'm going to hold these types of trades, you know, on the 5 minute. So you don't create analysis paralysis, because now you're going to go on the 15, the 30 minute. Sometimes that kind of messes up the range. But if it looks good on all time frames, that should even give you confidence. So you got 30 minute looking good, 15 is looking good, 5 minutes looking good. So you can say to yourself, all right, so I want to see this range over here get filled, because the way I see price moving now, it makes more sense that it's going to move down bearish. And you can see the exhaustion in there. You can see the patterns. You can see how price has been struggling here, accumulating here, potential liquidity grab above here, head, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, SMA confluence. You know, you're going to have such a good probability, especially because price has not even had a move yet. So you're going to be like, okay, you know, if I find myself in a situation like this, I'm just going to hold the trade. And you see what happened? The market even came back to retest these areas one last time before it had the move, because this is where people were getting in. You know, this whole area, you see this wick zone, some people take sells here, some people take sells up here, but the retracement was so big it even came and took out the earlier sells right over here. So, you know, the market sometimes does this, and it wouldn't even go by that much, you know, like retest it a bit and then continue to come downwards. But if you can't figure that out, then just hold the trade, you know, just hold it. Because you don't know how far the market is going to move. Then at that point, you don't know. And the market can move a lot further than you think it can. So just hold it then. You know, it's not rocket science. I was getting used to this RSI stuff, and price does need to breathe to have this move. I was testing and watching this, so now that moves like 80 pips up, it can do a move down 120 pips before it needs to pull up again. That's why price is trickling slowly. Price can just keep moving the way he wants to move. Yes. It's a pretty big zone on the 4 hour down over here. Really massive zone. I guess that's why price is kind of hesitating overall. When we refined it on 30 minute, we did see an opportunity for sells. But looking at 4 hour support level, yeah, we might hesitate by this area for a bit. Hence the accumulation down here. But that's why I don't like using 4 hour zones, like high time frame zones, because they're not refined enough. They're just way too big. You know, something a little bit like this is a bit more cleaner to understand. Then, you know, like this is your area of opportunity where you can potentially be taking buys or sells. It's about 120 pip range. Remember, the market condition is changing. It's not the same one that we came into when we started the stream. There's a completely different market environment here when I took this sell than it is currently right now. Like, it's already shifted. The weather's changed. Friday, Ukraine and Russia are supposed to have peace talks, right? If that goes right, sells will be sweet. If it goes wrong, buys will be juicy. Yes. Yeah, that's why for Friday, you know, it also depends when they're having the talks. Like, is that more towards the end of the day? Is it during the New York session? You know, what time is the talks going to be? I also don't know if it's going to be early mornings, or when is it that we can take advantage. But I think the market should already be moving on Friday. Actually, what I would expect is a similar day like today, exactly like today, to happen on Friday. That's what I would be expecting, yeah. And it should be sweet. Even if it's just selling exuberance and then nothing changes, then it's just going to correct itself. But at least there's a reason for the exuberance. That we can say that if price is moving down heavy on a Friday, we know why it's moving down heavy on a Friday. I like that LTA above if we can get change of structure later. Hourly created a top wick. Man, this is so volatile. The hourly had created a top wick here, and then now it looks like it's coming back down. Yeah, Chad, if you ask me, I still think you overall want to be selling gold. Unless you start to see something break above a key level of structure, and a key level of structure would be above 33.66. If you see something a little bit more sustainable to the upside. But 100%, man, like price still could break lows and continue to move down. If you like the LTA above, we get a change of structure later. Yeah, the LTA is pretty nice. Even on the 15-minute and above looks cleaner. That's true. On the 15-minute and above, you got a 100 pip range towards 33.77 over there. Yeah, LTA is something that I think some people are going to be looking for. The only problem with the LTA breakout is going to be if price starts to pull back down, that's going to be such an obvious liquidity grab. So it can continue moving down with the bearish momentum. So you'd really want to see this area get respected for an overall move towards the upside. But yeah, chat, like pretty decent day so far, you know, can't complain. The only thing I wish is I took some earlier entries. I think I would have had a much cleaner entry. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, you set yourself these goals and you say to yourself, if I want to make 1% per day or 2% per day, and that's, you know, at the end of the day, that's the most important. It's just getting whatever goal that it is and then calling it a day, calling it a session. Because you can't trade forever. You know, the more you trade, the more money you're going to lose. So you got to like call it quits at some point. Ask Zoli if gold will continue to move down for New York session. The bankrupt card implies that communication may falter. Thus, the answer is no. Gold is likely to decline during the New York session. Oh well. I guess we wouldn't see gold move down. You're buying at 33.50. Godspeed. Yeah, nice round number. What do I think? I think why would you buy price as it's coming down? That's what I think. Why not sell gold as it breaks those lows? Because what's the pain? What pain would you prefer? Would you prefer a pain of having price go through this level like this? If let's say you take a buy here at 33.50 and then price goes down, or would you have more of a pain if price did this and then came up? Came up or did this? Just went straight down. I think I would prefer the pain of a potential fake out here. But I don't see a reason why this is, because remember, I trade off the lower time frames. So all my decision is based off of what's currently happening in the market. It's not about what's happening all the way back over here. You know, not necessarily. So I think I'm more focused on what is price doing here leading up into these breaks. That's what I put more emphasis on. Because, you know, this is an older price action. You can use as confluence. You know, you can for higher time frames. But it is also older PA. Yeah, chat. But I think I'm going to end off the stream here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you all find some value in the stream here today. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 3 a.m. Eastern for the London Open. Let's smash this week, guys, and have a good week. And adios.
Now we about to dip. My boy said to stay.